attention to the men behind the barred curtain, nor the craters beneath the draped flags. Those hoods are there for your protection, and the meteors these days are the size of corpses. There is a war going on for your mind. We are the insurgents.
I'm going to start right off the bat. I don't think I've ever been more pissed off for doing a show. Right now, I've never been this angry. If you haven't seen the news, and it's really only hours old, it's something that Alex couldn't cover because it hadn't happened yet. And, you know, I did my first little video blog. We're going to be doing a lot of this stuff, where I'm going to blog about what I'm going to be talking about during the show and posting it at theinfowarrior.com. I did not get to talk about this story as it landed in my hands 90 minutes ago. Supreme Court rules police can initiate suspects' questioning. Goodbye right to remain silent. Now, they say that that's not gone, but they can question you without a lawyer. Let me read it for you. This is out of Reuters. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday that police, under certain circumstances, which means anything, they're giving them carte blanche, folks. Certain circumstances. Yeah, right. Anything they say, anything they make up, anything they lie about, can initiate an interrogation of a suspect without the defendant's lawyer being present. Do you know what that means? You can sit there and say, I'm not talking. They'll just hold you indefinitely. The next thing to go is the 24-hour holding period. You watch. And then these are going to be the certain circumstances. By a 5-4 vote. And notice how it's always 5-4. It's always one vote. It's never 9-0. This is as staged as wrestling. It really is. A 5-4 vote. Are we retarded? Are we retarded? If you're not on the phone to your local representative after you hear this story, immediately go to your phone, go to your email box. We need to flood these. This needs to be overruled. I cannot believe this. By a 5-4 vote, the conservative majority, it's conservative, all right. Give me a break. The conservative majority overruled a 23-year-old Supreme Court decision that barred the police from initiating questioning after a defendant asserted the right to an attorney at an arraignment or similar proceeding. Do you get it? I can say, I'm not talking without a lawyer. And you know what they can say? F you, buddy. F you. And then they can slam my head into a table, kick my face in, baton me. You know, remember that one guy? He got raped with a plunger. I'm beyond words right now, folks. I really am. The 1986 decision held that once a defendant invoked the right to counsel, only the suspect and not the police can initiate the contact. That's over with. So I say, I'm not talking without a lawyer. I get an elbow to my face. I get a baton to my jawline. I mean, is this the country you want to live in? Because I want to leave. I want out. I really do. I wish there was somewhere I could go. I want my country back. I want my Bill of Rights back. I want my Constitution back. I want my Miranda rights back that you just stripped of me hours ago. And by the way, the latest Supreme Court nominee, she's a member of La Raza. She's on the council, not even just a member. She's on the council. She's a former Bush 1 appointee back in New York. There goes... Folks, if you don't think they're going to push towards the North American Union, you don't think they're merging us with Canada and Mexico, you don't think this is a big setup to come get us, the American people, you got another thing coming. They just announced today that they're also going to merge... They're merging the Department of Homeland Security, which is a spy force for you. For you. Have you read the lexicon documents with the NSA? Not that the NSA wasn't spying on you, but what they did is they created that agency to create a huge bureaucracy and another name and invoke more fear. And now they're just going to amalgamate it into a super intelligence agency in a police state that is unbearable. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. I got to hear what you got to say about this. I got about 35 other news stories I got to cover. This is the biggest one. And there's some big stories today. It's the Info Warrior with Jason Bermas. PrisonPlanet.tv. Infowars.com.
The good old folks at New Silver Solution. And the website is supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. This is something that kills bacteria, viruses, you name it, well documented. They've got it down to a super small, nano-sized particle. Supernaturalsilver.com. Check them out at Infowars.com. Supernaturalsilver.com.
Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard.
And folks, the troubles continue. They get worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'm just supposed to sit here in the pot and let myself boil so they can eat me up. Well, I'm not down. I am livid. I'm beyond pissed. I'm beyond the pale right now. I mean, this decision right now is absolutely unbelievable. And when I say absolutely unbelievable, I mean completely unbearable, totally against the Constitution and Bill of Rights, totally against one's personal freedom. And I am in shock. I am stunned. And is this going to be all over the news tonight? Yes, but you know what? It's going to be perceived in a positive light. Oh, the police can now really get down to dirty tactics against the bad people out there. They can do what's necessary. All these criminals don't need lawyers. Meanwhile, I've got this other story here where they're starting a database program, a DNA database program for people who they suspect of a felony. You don't have to be convicted. You don't have to be tried in court. You never get your DNA back. You're just in a database for these scum. Oh, and that's okay. DNA collection bill signed into law. It's over at truthnews.us. Area legislators hailed Thursday's passage of Colorado's version of Katie's Law as a means of protecting the public and exonerating the innocent. And here are the criminals behind the bill. We created legislation that is going to save people's lives. Representative Scott Tipton. Representative Cortez said Thursday with Bill Ritter, the governor, I couldn't be more pleased or excited to see the bill go through. Smiles all around, everybody. And here are the criminals, Tipton, Steve King, Senator John Morse. Scum. Let me repeat this. Which requires DNA samples from anyone arrested on suspicion of a felony. No due process. Oh, it doesn't matter. You're not even going to get your lawyer anymore. They'll probably get felony convictions from people who haven't done anything. Yeah, stay in that cell for a week. Pig. Scum. Dog. What is this, Saudi Arabia? The United Arab Emirates? We're going to start letting off machine gun fire 2 feet in someone's face? We're going to start hitting people with boards with nails in it? Is that America? Folks, I usually do not run this hot. But I am so fired up, and I'm not talking about some crappy cheerleading movie that no one gives a hell about. I'm talking about reality. That's where we are right now. We're in a little place called the reality zone. The ruling last week was the latest in a recent string by conservative justices expanding the power of police to question suspects. They don't, right out in the open, we're just going to expand police power. Power to the police. Let's give the jackboots more power to stomp on American citizens' necks. But it does not change the landmark 66 ruling barring the police from questioning a suspect who invoked the right to remain silent or have a lawyer present. Bull! It says right here. Right here. Let me read it for you again. By a 5-4 vote, the conservative majority overruled a 23-year-old Supreme Court decision that barred the police from initiating questioning after a defendant asserted the right to an attorney at an arraignment or similar proceeding. See, this is all doublespeak. This is as Orwellian as it gets. We are living in a time of Orwell like no other. I know every day progresses. Time keeps slipping into the future, no doubt. But this is it. They're like within 3 paragraphs of each other. It says, 5-4 ruling, they can question you without an attorney present, and they don't have to listen to you. And then 2 paragraphs later, it says, it really didn't overrule the 1966 ruling that you can have the right to remain silent until a lawyer gets there. And really, this is just for the domestic police force, the little guys, the sheriffs, the state troopers, the local cops that are always on power trips. In small towns, they're the worst, man. They think their badge just entitles them to everything. They're the boss there. They're the boss. And then 2 paragraphs later, they say, no, we're not going to do that. The decision was a defeat of Jesse J. Montejo, a Louisiana death row inmate. He was convicted and sentenced to death for the murder of a dry cleaning operator during a robbery in 2002. He initially waived his right to a lawyer and was questioned by the police. He told several conflicting stories. Several days later, he appeared in court for a preliminary hearing, and the local judge appointed a lawyer to represent Montejo, who could not find an attorney, which is the way it should be. Now, is this guy a murderer? I don't know. If he is, he deserves to go to jail for it. There's a system for that. But then, and again, 5'4", 5'4". I mean, seriously, what are they doing in the back room? Are they really deliberating this? Are they reading off a script when they do so? Are they playing Parcheesi, rolling dice, smoking blunts? I don't know what they're doing, other than enslaving the American populace. You know, we just love our servitude. We just love it. Love it. Eat it up. Folks, I'm taking your calls all 3 hours. 866-582-9933. I want to hear what you have to say about this, because it is out of control. I mean, out of control. Let me read the headline for you so you can bring it up yourself. And you don't have to take my word for it. And show it up on the screen as I read the headline, please. Supreme Court rules police can initiate suspects questioning.